Hello, all. Good evening. First day of early voting. 20 days to go. We can take back North Carolina. We can take back our school boards. We can protect our families. We can do something that will further all of those goals. Today's the first day of early voting. Hope you got out there. I know that you're going to plan on getting out there. This is our chance. This is our chance to come together and turn this thing around. So I wrote a story today. I wrote our statement from Ed First Alliance that will illustrate why we need to turn this around. Cheri Beasley says what all the other Democrats are either thinking or have also said. She says trans people, and especially people of color, face barriers to healthcare. And then she goes on to say that Republicans are mean, of course, we're the bad guys, right? And we're mean because we're limiting the ability of children to have sex change operations. And there's something, she says, deeply troubling about that. No, let me tell you what's deeply troubling, Cheri Beasley. The practice of chemically sterilizing and castrating our children and then mutilating them in the operating room in the name of equity. That's what's deeply disturbing. Now, we here at Ed First Alliance equate what Cheri Beasley wants for North Carolina and this country is a policy of eugenics. That is, I know, incredibly inflammatory of me to say, right? Would you believe that the FDA agrees with me? The American College of Pediatrics agree with me? Countries like the UK, Switzerland, Finland, all very liberal, by the way, they agree with me. Would you also believe that children and people who have transitioned and then transitioned back into their correct sex, they agree with me? It's not just Sloan Rockmouth out here saying this. It's not just Ed First Alliance saying it. Let me read you a few points. There are a tremendous amount of not only teens, but now adults coming forward and saying that they were groomed into taking the life-altering process of mutilating their bodies. They regret it. Puberty blockers can trigger mental illnesses like schizophrenia and bipolar, according to the American College of Pediatrics. The FDA, number one, the FDA has not approved these drugs for use of children. Why? Well, for one thing, they were designed for example, men who have terminal prostate cancer. It was designed to chemically castrate them to help save their lives. The FDA has not and will not approve these drugs. And in fact, they came out with a warning this summer. That's right. That these drugs can cause swelling of the brain and vision loss. This is to children. Okay. American College of Pediatrics and the FDA say this, that giving these drugs to children, or anyone for that matter, causes osteoporosis, seizures, cognitive impairment, and sterility are the side effects. Let me tell you something. Go to any gender clinic, gender affirming clinic is what they call them. Just for example, Duke and UNC, go there right now. Go on their website. You will find that as a part of preparing for this kind of treatment, they talk to you about retrieving sperm and eggs prior to your surgery. Why? Because you won't be able to produce them if you take these treatments. And if you take them for too long, you definitely won't be able to. And if you have a sex change operation, you definitely won't be able to. Go there and look. It's a part of the treatment. Now, why do you think that is? We know why. So I guess we could say that Duke and UNC and Charlotte Levine's Children's Hospital, I guess you could say they're among the entities that are in agreement with what we are saying here tonight. Here's another point. European countries, like I said, the UK, look up Tavistock Clinic. About 1,000 lawsuits going on there. Right now, they had to close the clinic. That was the preeminent, and in fact, the only sex change clinic in the country. Massive problems there. massive problems. And surprise, surprise, Americans don't want this. So this is the deal. I mean, whether she knows it or not, and almost if Cheri Beasley doesn't know that these drugs will sterilize children, shame on her. She ought to educate herself. So the time she spent pandering to LGBTQ groups, she could have been cracking the books and learning about the disastrous things that these drugs do and this treatment does to families and to children. So Cheri Beasley deserves to be absolutely nowhere near policymaking. She has just proposed, sorry to say, one of the most insensitive and racist concepts I've heard in modern times. This is just absolutely horrendous. So today is the first day that not only you get to vote against Cheri Beasley, but you get to vote for Ted Budd, a good man, a great American. He has tons of experience in protecting not only North Carolinians, but the American people. I've talked to Ted Budd about this. I told him how upset I was. Guess what he knows? Everything that I've got in front of you. He knows that. He already knows that. Because he looks into policies and the background behind them before he speaks to pander to groups. Today's the first day you get to vote for Ted Budd. You get to vote for someone who will stand up for our children. If you want to look at it this way, you also get to vote against Cheri Beasley. You get to vote against Democrats. They are pushing this on our children and on our country. And the insult to injury is that they want for the American taxpayer to pay for human rights abuses on a scale that's reminiscent of eugenics. They want us to pay for that. They want us to pay for our own demise, for our children's demise. Today's the first day you get to do the right thing. Today's the first day we get to take steps to restore sanity. Go out there, do your duty, vote.